guys, it's Kennedy, and for today's video, I'm going to be doing a first impression and demo of a new foundation. New to me, newer because I changed the formula not too long ago. I will get into that later, but it is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Foundation, and I'm super excited to try this out. So let's just get started with the demo. So I'm going to start off by applying a primer, and today I'm using the Makeup Forever Nourishing Primer. And now onto foundation. I'm in the shade Y215, and I actually got color matched at Sephora yesterday, but it was a really tough time and I'm not sure if this color is going to be 100% right, so fingers crossed that it is. So I'm going to start off by applying a pump to the back of my hand. It's a good amount of product there, didn't even show you. And it seems decently runny. Accidentally made it look like a fish. That's cute. And on my right side of my face, I'm going to be using a beauty blender to apply it. And on the left side, I'm going to be using my Sigma Flat Top Kabuki F80 brush. So it's hard to tell with this awful lighting, but I have applied a thin layer of the foundation on this side of my face, and this side has nothing on it. And so far, I'm really impressed with the way that it feels. It just feels really lightweight. It's done a really good job of covering up some of the redness that I have, just evening out my skin tone. And I still have like some blemishes peeking through, but it's helped to minimize that. So far, I'm really impressed. Now I'm going to finish the rest of my face using the F80 brush, and I'll come back. So this is what the foundation looks like, and I should mention that I started using my Sigma F80 brush to apply the foundation on this side, and I wasn't liking how it looked on my skin, so I saved it using the Beauty Blender. So I technically used the Beauty Blender on my entire face, but it's just my favorite thing to use to apply foundation. I did give the brush a shot though. I do like using brushes, but just for me with this foundation, I wasn't feeling it. I have about a layer and a half of foundation all over my face. I say half because I had extra product on my hand, and so I just went back in to cover up some more of the redness on my cheeks and a little bit on my forehead. And I would say it did a pretty good job of evening out my skin tone. It's not tacky, and it feels like there's nothing on my skin, which is amazing. I still do have like blemishes and stuff peeking through the foundation. That happens all the time for me, so I will just use a little bit of concealer and cover that up. That's not a huge deal. But yeah, I'm gonna go finish my makeup and I will be right back. So I am back, I have all my makeup done, and it's about 11 o'clock in the morning. I do have to go to work today and run some errands, so I'm gonna put this foundation to a pretty good test. Just as a reference, I have naturally very oily skin, but lately it's been pretty dry. So that's why I'm using the Nourishing Primer for Makeup Forever. But I'm gonna see how well that works in combination with the foundation, because I feel like I'm just gonna end up looking like an oil slick in a little bit. Fingers crossed it's not too bad, but we'll see how that holds up. So I'm just on Sephora's website, and as some of you guys might know, recently Makeup Forever did change the formula of this foundation. It was already high definition, but now it's even higher definition, so it's supposed to be good if you're filming with a 4K camera, which is pretty cool. I know a lot of people are pretty skeptical about the change. I read a ton of reviews, and it seems pretty mixed, but I can't give you my opinion on how I felt comparing it to the original formula because I never used that one, so I'm just basing it off of this current formula. So like I said earlier, I'm in the shade Y215 Yellow Albaster, and mine retailed for $50. I'm in Canada, so it's more expensive than if you buy it from somewhere like the States. That Canadian life. But I'm gonna read a few of the claims now. So basically it says it's long-lasting with a natural-looking finish, formulated with hyaluronic spheres to ensure comfortable wear on all skin types. It says that it should provide medium to buildable coverage with an even lighter weight second skin texture that looks just like skin. Lightweight formula. So basically it's supposed to create a naturally flawless complexion on and off camera, but completely invisible under like the 4K lens. So it has some pretty good claims. Like it's gonna make you look naturally flawless, but also be like invisible and undetectable, feel like a second skin and lightweight. Just repeating what I just said. Sorry, wanted to get that point across. But I do like the claims of this. So far, after wearing it for just a little bit, I can tell you that it does feel very lightweight. The lighting is still awful, but I do feel like the color match is pretty good. Oh, there are 40 shades in this range, so there's a pretty good chance that you'll find one. Yeah, so I'm back. It's about 6:30 in the evening, so this foundation has been on for about 7.5 hours, and so far I am really pleased with how it feels and how it looks. It still feels super lightweight, like I don't feel like I'm wearing foundation, and it looks just as good as when I applied it. It looks very natural. The only thing that I have to complain about a little bit is that it sank into my expression lines around my mouth. I was smiling a lot today and stuff, but that happens with most of the foundations that I use, so that's kind of typical. I did apply like highlighter and stuff, so that's why I look shiny, and it hasn't made me look like a grease slick yet, so it's good so far. It's holding up well. So this is my final check-in. It is 8:30 in the evening, and I've had this foundation on for about 9.5 hours, so a pretty good amount of time. Before I say anything else, just want to say that I am recording this in a bathroom right now, so that's why the lighting is very harsh and the audio is probably echoey. So I'm sorry about that. But back to the foundation. I am super impressed with this foundation, you guys. I really love it. I know it doesn't look that great on camera right now, but in person and in pictures and stuff, it looks really great. I am a little shiny, but this happens with any foundation that I wear because, like I mentioned earlier, I do have oily skin. So I'm not surprised that I ended up like this. I could kind of, though, get away with it being almost like a dewy kind of look, or I could just like kind of blot it and powder it if I needed to go out, and it would be totally fine. So that's not a problem there. It does still look natural. It still feels lightweight. I haven't seen any separation of the foundation, and it hasn't creased up under my eyes when I put the concealer there and stuff. Like I noticed that some of my other foundation combinations with my concealer, I can't talk today, some of the combinations will end up like creasing up under my eyes, and I was looking closely, this didn't do that, so I am really happy about that. The color match is really great, and I really love this foundation, you guys. It just looks really great. Even my mom said that it looks very natural, and I do agree that it gives you like, it like makes your skin look flawless, but it's very natural. I don't know. I am very, very impressed, you guys. The only downsides that I could say, like I mentioned before, is that it sank into my expression lines around my mouth. But obviously, if I'm smiling for a long period of time, my foundation's kind of just going to end up there. As well with my expression lines on my forehead, it's just kind of going to end up there. So I don't really know what I expect. It's not like it's going to just avoid those areas. I don't know. Anyways, you guys, that is it for my foundation review today. I hope you guys kind of found this helpful, and if you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! I'm gonna start off with Pluto. He is just too cute. I love not only the fact that he's winking, but he has this little tongue sticking out too. I think that is such an adorable little touch, and he actually reminds me of the emoji with his tongue sticking out.